Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covered, three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
number four, armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I am your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Monday. You know what that means. It's time for the Impact Zone, which normally means I'm joined by the regular Jay, but since he's not so regular and he's off at work and he's unable to make it today, I'm joined by Big Boy Mikey. How are you?
Very well, mate. Very well. Viva la Impact.
Viva la Impact, yeah. So thank you so much for subbing in, watching Impact. I know you don't normally watch Impact. I know it's not normally in your schedule, which you're crazy because it should be, because Impact is fantastic at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. Like you said, it's not really part of my viewing schedule, but they did make a Impact this week.
They made an Impact. Yeah, gee, that's probably the first time that joke's ever been said. So we are back in Mexico for this week's Impact TV. Now, I know you have things to do today, so let's get straight into it. Tessa Blanchard and Fabi Apache opening the show. Now, I don't know about you, but so something that we've talked about with Impact, with the regular J, something we've talked about is how great their opening matches are. They really put a heavy focus on having a fantastic opening match, a fantastic main event. It's a solid formula, time-tested, proven, and this time around, the opening match was just, it was too quick, in my opinion. It wasn't, they didn't give me that epic Impact opening match vibe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it was decent. Like, for me, like, as I said at the start, like, I'm not exactly a big Impact guy. It's not on my everyday list, but I am a big Lucha guy, and I know a lot about the Lucha game. Yeah, for me, just...
Which is why it's great to have you on for this Mexico episode.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just to see Fabi Apache just lose so quickly and clean is the more shocking aspect to me. Yeah, like, I know it's an Impact show, but she's still one of the biggest legends of the Luchadora game in Mexico. So
yeah, I thought it would go a bit longer. It felt a bit short for me. It felt like it was only like 4 or 5 minutes, and then Tessa wins with the buzzsaw of the DDT, which I mean, It was a good match, and it was still epic in the sense that it was Tessa Blanchard versus Fabi Apache,
right?
You know, so like it still had that epic opening match vibe, but I just felt like it could have gone longer, and it should have gone longer.
No.
Given some of the matches that got more time later, I just thought. Yeah, I definitely would have preferred to see the main event kind of dragged a little in the middle. So I think that having this match go a little bit longer and just sort of even it out a bit would have been better.
Yeah. But Tessa's awesome, though. Like, I get it. You got to, if you're Impact, if I was booking Impact, I'd be booking Tessa almost the same way. Like, you got to just...
Yeah, she definitely looked strong. I think it also raises the question of how many of these Mexican talents are going to continue working with Impact.
Yeah.
Because you got to think that some of them might, right? We'll get to one shortly who might end up working with them a little bit longer term. But then we get Tessa Tessa basically saying that she's not only the best wrestler, but the best athlete in pro wrestling. And then we predicted this. The regular Jay and I predicted this. Taya Valkyrie shows up. She's only on the screen, though. She's not there in person. And she cuts a promo in Spanish, which is something we love about Impact. They do the Spanish promos with the subtitles. It's very they really give wrestling that world vibe, you know?
Yeah, and I like that part.
Like it's a real global thing, Impact. It feels more, even though WWE is more global, it feels more global than WWE because they don't just go to places or they don't just sign people from places, but it feels like they actually embrace the culture of the places, at least a little.
There's a real global force within the Impact.
You're just full of these tonight. You're just going to keep going with these, aren't you?
Saturday morning puns. Going for it.
This is amazing.
No, I do love that general feel with Impact now. And it's not just Impact, like, you know, there's this sort of group of promotions, not just in North America, but around the world that kind of putting on this. And we have our own one here in Australia, which I feel is sort of the Australian Impact, but just on a smaller level. That's World Series Wrestling. I feel World Series Wrestling is very Impact-ish.
Yeah.
Like just with the way that global feel, like you got your Aussies, but you also got that global push. You got IPW UK,
yeah,
in the UK obviously, who they focus on the British talent, but they also bring in guys like Austin Aries and stuff. Then obviously in North America, you got the Impacts, House of Hardcore, Major League, which we'll touch on later, and now AAA getting involved. I just think it's very clever for Impact to focus on that side of wrestling industry instead of, they lost their way obviously when Hogan came in and basically nearly destroyed the company, but I feel that this new reincarnation of Impact, it's more like, let's be somewhat, like we talk about it so much in all different casts, that the wrestling world is getting smaller. So let Impact be the sort of the king of making the world smaller indie scene. You know what I mean? Like, have them be New Japan doing their thing with their universe like we touch on all the time. But if Impact concentrate on the rest, you know, having the legends like Dreamer coming in and out, having young Mexican talent, young British talent, like you guys got like Grado. You got shows with Grado and Lady Apache on it. Like who would have thought that in 2018?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I mean, look, they're even open to working with WWE, right? So the news coming out of the WWE and Impact meeting is that WWE and Impact don't view themselves as enemies anymore, and they're very open to working together. And I mean, you know, we know that Vince used to use ECW as like an unofficial breeding ground, and he'd toss Paul some money under the table.
Yeah.
We could see similar things happening with him. I mean, Don Callis has connections. Don Callis is everywhere. We've joked about it before. He's the puppet master pulling the strings behind everything. He's putting the pieces into play. He's ruling the wrestling world. But it's I'm really enjoying New Impact, and the global feel is something. Just to get back to it, the global feel is something that's really, it's one of their big selling points for me. And you could see them as almost a king of the indies, even though that's kind of PWG, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, for me, for PWG, like as great as they are, because they're just not accessible, and that's the way that they want to be, and that's fine because PWG is beautiful for what it is, but they're not a global reach like Impact can be. So if Impact want to play that game alongside guys like House of Hardcore, Major League Wrestling and stuff, then go for it. Like,
yeah, the big thing that upsets me about PWG is just the way that it limits Excalibur's commentary, because he is fantastic.
Yeah,
and All In showed that. All In showed that, like, not that he's not fantastic on PWG. I don't mean limit like he doesn't live up to his potential or whatever, but I mean it limits his exposure.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that.
You know? Like, he could be one of the top commentators in the sport. Like, I would love to have Excalibur and Kevin Kelly on pretty much anything. Yeah. You could put those two, because Excalibur as well, you get the vibe from him that he watches everything. I don't know if he does.
No, probably.
But you get that vibe, right? Like, he knows wrestling, and you could put him next to Kevin Kelly, and they could call New Japan. That would be amazing. They could be a CMLL team. You know, I don't know. I feel like that's my dream announcing team in 2018 is Kevin Kelly and Excalibur. Yeah, and sorry, just a little side rant about PWG, but yeah, so Taya ends up issuing a challenge for Bound for Glory. She calls Tessa a bitch, and
Yeah.
and says that she can't call herself the best until she proves herself against La Reina de la Lucha Libre. I hope I said that right. It's the queen of wrestling, basically. Yeah. So, yeah, she challenges her for Bound for Glory, which Tessa later accepts, which is nice. But we'll get to that.
But yeah, no.
We predicted this, so
I love Taya.
Yeah.
I know there's a little bit of a feeling there that she hasn't been around for a long while and didn't do anything to deserve the shot, but her name just it's probably just another stepping stone for Tessa's awesome run here in Impact. I'm sure it'll just be
Tessa's going to step over her to continue building her legacy for sure. Yeah.
But it's a great name. Having Apache and Taya within the space of 4 weeks is just great.
I imagine that Taya and Johnny are not long for the Indies. I think that they're going to head back to WWE. Johnny head back and Taya head to WWE pretty soon. I just think that as with all the stuff that WWE do now, like the Mae Young Classic, the Mixed Match Challenge, I think that leaving Impact and Taya out in the world is a big mistake for WWE. So I think that Johnny Impact's going to go home. Right? Yeah. I mean, this is a complete side note. This is more something for my All the Rest podcast that I'm going to talk about later today. But WWE have actually re-trademarked Nitro. I don't know if you saw this.
I have not seen that. What the hell?
Yeah, they've re-trademarked Nitro, Monday Night Nitro. They've re-trademarked Halloween Havoc, and a few others as well. I think like Bash at the Beach and a couple of other WCW classic pay-per-view names.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're going to revive a sort of WCW brand. I don't know if this is like something that they want to do for Fox. Like, could you imagine if they revived it and had a Monday Night Nitro on Fox running against their own Raw?
Wow.
This is for another show. But what I'm saying is we could see Johnny Nitro back. That's
that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Eddie Edwards and Johnny Impact are preparing, and Eddie Edwards and Alicia are still having issues. And we've said it for weeks here. We have no idea what's going on with Alicia. Like, 1 minute she's like protective and, what are you doing? And the next minute she's like, don't touch me, you're crazy. I have no idea what to think about this.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I know you're not following the stories too closely, so you probably don't have much to say about it. But it's really hot and cold with Alicia, and I don't like the way it's portrayed because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like there's any rhyme or reason behind it. It's just she's a crazy woman, and I hate that kind of writing. It's lazy. It's lazy. She's an emotional crazy woman, and it's played out, and I want them to just pick a track or give us a reason for why she's so hot and cold. Like let us see her talking to someone else about how she's just so unsure, or give us something that lets us care about her beyond what's this crazy bitch doing this week. Like, is she hot or cold this week? It's frustrating.
Yeah, well, like with the Eddie Edwards thing, I've seen a little bit of it. Are they, in your opinion, like you follow a lot more Impact than I do these days, are Impact sort of kind of hoping that there's a revival within Davey Richardson's mind to come back with Eddie? Like, are they sort of keeping him stagnant in this sort of storyline, hoping that Davey returns to pro wrestling? Like, I know he's somewhat retired to go focus on his real life.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that they started the downward spiral story and they didn't know how to bring him back yet. Because it looked like they brought him back after the Tommy Dreamer match, but then he still kind of started acting crazy and with the kendo stick. And I don't know if he needs to lose the kendo stick to find himself again and sort of give up on this idea of being the new innovator of violence. But I really wanted him to be the new innovator of violence, but get his shit together. And I don't know. It's a little odd. I'm curious as to where it goes, but I don't think we're going to see a payoff for it for a while. I think that they're going to play this out for a while. Because it's something that Impact are getting better at, and they're wanting to do more of his longer-term storytelling. And Eddie is someone, I don't see him going anywhere else. So I think he's going to be around for a while so they can let this play out.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Then we get Eli Drake, the highlight of the night. Well, one of the two. So I don't know how much of our Impact casts you listen to, man, but we're very high on Eli Drake and we're very high on Scarlett Bordeaux. These are our two highlights of the night.
I think the entire world is high on bloody Scarlett Bordeaux at the moment.
Yeah. Highest rated clip in AAA YouTube history. Almost. It's close to it. Like within the.
It's in the top. It's in their top 5.
Yeah, within the first week, it had well over 1 million views, which is great. I think a lot of it is Impact fans being like, we want to see her in the ring because she hasn't actually made an in-ring debut in Impact.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of it is that.
She's only done segments. There's a lot of mystique around her, and her character is so well done. But we'll get to her. We're talking about Eli Drake first. He's walking around Mexico. He's looking for dummies. Dummy, tonto, see, and he's pretending that he can speak Spanish. I can't even with Eli Drake. But yeah, he's got an open challenge coming up next week, which is looking for dummies, Mexican dummies that he can put down. You're the Lucha Libre guy.
Yeah.
Who do you think comes in?
Right. Well, so they're working with AAA. So there's plenty.
It's Rey Mysterio. I'm calling it.
Oh.
It's a joke. It's obviously not going to be Rey Mysterio.
I just thought I'd sell that one for you. No,
he's under contract to another company. I don't think that's going to work.
It could be a host of anyone. Like, I mean, they're working with AAA really well recently, so it could be anyone from someone like a Dr. Wagner. Like, I don't know, someone like Dr. Wagner, Aerostar.
Aerostar does stuff with Impact. I don't think that would be. I think it needs to be someone who hasn't wrestled Impact much or hasn't wrestled Impact lately. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like.
Here's your genuine thought.
I would like to see Ricky Banderas.
That'd be an interesting one,
right? So, I mean, obviously, I don't know if Mil Muertes is owned by Lucha Underground, of course, but Ricky Banderas, I would love to see him answer the open challenge. I think that would be an actual challenge for Eli Drake. And he as well, I imagine he's out there thinking, flippy-do luchadors with masks. I think that's what he's thinking he's going to get. And then to see Ricky Banderas walk down, it might sort of take him back a little,
I mean, I could
be a good check for him. That's my pick.
I could see someone like maybe like an El Texano.
El Tejano was on last week in a world title match against Austin Aries.
Oh, there you go.
And so he lost that match. So it could be a way for him to regain some heat, like to get a win back because he's lost one on the taping. So that's possible. That's absolutely possible. But it wouldn't be as shocking. I want something shocking.
Maybe
like a La Parka, like Rey Mysterio. If Rey Mysterio wasn't just contracted to WWE, he would be the perfect person just because he's the biggest name ever.
What about someone like a Hoovy? Like he's still going.
Hoovy. Is Psychosis still wrestling? He's still wrestling. He just injured Joey. Well, he just was in the match with Joey Janela when he got injured.
Yeah, Psychosis
would be great.
Right. Even some of the young guys, or something like a Sammy Guevara, or
it can't be Sammy Guevara. He gets too much heat. Eli Drake's got to be the bad guy here. So
a Bandito, Flamita.
Oh man, yes, Bandito would be incredible.
Laredo Kid, Drago.
Drago does work with Impact already, so I don't know if it'll be him. But yeah, anyway, he's got an open challenge. It's coming next week. We'll find out next week. I'll let you know in the group chat who it ended up being. Then we move on. We've got Brian Cage. He wins a match with Jake Christ with the drill claw, another shortish match. And but really the point here is the angle that happens after. So OVE, I don't know if you know, but Cage is sort of allied with the Lucha Brothers at the moment.
Okay.
It's like a hesitant alliance. He kind of walked out on him when they were getting attacked, but after one of his matches, but then he sort of came back and he was like, no, I'm not going to let this stand. And he came back for the save. And so, Sammy Callahan's like, you put your nose where it doesn't belong. And so now Brian Cage is on OVE's radar. And so they're in a 6-man tag match coming up, an OVE rules match, whatever that means. and that's coming up at Bound for Glory. Now, OVE attack after this match. They attack Brian Cage, and then the lights go out, and then Dave Christ is just gone, just out of nowhere. And I love the way this was presented, because then you cut to a thing that's clearly pre-taped, right? Because there's no way they got him back there. It was Pentagon and Phoenix appear on the Titantron, and they have Dave Christ chained up to a chair. There's no way they got that happening that quickly. So it's obviously pre-taped. But the way it was presented, it just felt like, oh, this is happening. Holy crap, you know?
Yeah. I love Cage, man. I think Cage is an absolute star.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cage is one of the ones that we talk about where we're like, please don't go. Please don't go. Because WWE have to be looking at Cage. They have to be.
Is he... I love Cage. I got to meet him at the last World Series Wrestling. Very lovely guy. Has he got the wrong... He's got the physique for WWE, but has he got too much of a physique for WWE? Like, is that too...
No. I can't imagine them not wanting him. I imagine they want him bad. But he's one of the few guys who's like, I've been there, you know? I've been there and it wasn't for me. So maybe he'll stick around. Yeah, maybe he'll stick around. But like you said, he's a really nice dude. And he's an absolute legend. He's just a machine of a man. Like, have you seen his eating schedule and stuff? Like, he has all his meal prep and stuff. Like, when he comes out here and stuff, he organizes ahead of time with companies to do his meal prep for him and stuff. He's just an absolute beast with everything he does in his life.
And he can put on a match with anyone, like any size.
Just insane.
Like, he can fly with a young one.
Yeah.
He can fly with a high flyer, and he can go back into the powerhouse with the powerhouses in a heartbeat. Like,
yeah, he's thoroughly impressive. That's why we're worried about it. But anyway, so he gets back up with the distraction of Pentagon and Phoenix. They've got him tied to the chair. They've got Dave Christ tied to the chair, and they're just super kicking him repeatedly. Sammy did a good job here. He actually looked upset, Sami Callihan, which is, I didn't expect that. I thought that he'd be like, he's kind of a psychopath. So you don't expect him to have any actual empathy for his little cult members, but he does. It's a nice little bits of character work are what I think sets Impact apart. And it's also what I think sets Sami Callihan apart. I've had some people tell me that they don't like Sami Callihan. All right, on Furious, I'm talking to you, man, Mister. This month in Pro Wrestler, you can go listen to it. He had a big rant on this month's episode, August plus. He had a rant about how much he hates Sami Callihan, and I don't see it. I find Sami Callihan to be very entertaining.
Look, I'm not a Sammy hater, so I'm not going to get on that. I find it.
But you're not a Sammy Mark like me either.
Sammy. What I would love to see for Sammy, like, he's a fine in-ring talent. I'm not saying that. He is a better... what's the right word? He's a Bray Wyatt to me. Like, Bray Wyatt... I don't care if I ever saw Bray Wyatt wrestle in the ring again.
Right.
Kind of like a Kevin Sullivan back in the day. Like, he was a fantastic wrestler, but he done his best work as a manager for the Giant and stuff, like, as a crazed manager type thing.
Yeah.
So, like, as much as I got nothing against Sami Callihan's in-ring work. He's a fantastic worker, always has been. But he's a better character than he is a wrestler. And I think
I can see that.
If he focused on being a manager, I reckon he could be one of the best managers.
I think he will when he eventually retires, but I think that's a long way away yet. Yeah. But anyway, Sammy actually looks upset, was my point, and then Cage gets back up and takes out Sammy and the remaining Jake Christ, and hits the tope over the top, and which it's always it still impresses me seeing him do that.
Yeah.
And then we get Grado and Joe Hendry. You'll love this. Grado and Joe Hendry just generally being bros. They're best friends now. They're kind of ripping on Chucky and Beretta's gimmick. They got their best friend love going on. And Katarina's not happy that she's being excluded by them, because what happened here, just to fill you in, is Katarina, in a moment of frustration, but it was pretty clear. Katarina basically expressed that she doesn't love Grado and she's in love with Joe Hendry, and she tried to kiss him. And Joe Hendry was like, "What are you doing? That's my best friend. No, Go away. and now they're being best friends, and Katarina's on the outside just being like, oh, how could you turn me down? I'm hot, you know? So she's not happy about being shunned and says she's found herself a new man, and it's Murder Clown.
Murder fucking Clown is in Impact.
Los Psycho Circus. Murder Clown. Like, what?
I hope all three fucking turn up. Well,
This is an odd pairing,
yeah.
to say the least. But I don't know a huge amount about Murder Clown, but he's called Murder Clown.
Yeah. He's like all three of them. Like most recently, the most recent, probably biggest highlighted match would have been at Triple Mania. It was a
Right.
terrible fucking match.
He was in the cage match, wasn't he?
No, that was Psycho. Murder was in the 6-man hardcore match that went out to like
Right.
and stuff against La Mascarena. But anyway, he's they're just insane, these three. Like all the clowns. Yeah. Be interesting to see how Murder Clown does on Impact. Like,
well, this is what I'm talking about whether these talents are going to continue working. Is this just a deal for next week and something's going to happen and she's going to get frustrated and walk away kind of thing? Like he's going to lose a match maybe to Joe Hendry or something, and then she's going to be like, you're useless, and cut him loose. Or is this a permanent thing? And Psycho Clown is now in Impact and with Katarina, of all people.
I don't know. I hope so. I hope they continue it. They got no problems with being booked in America or anything like that. Like they do a lot of the Crash in the America, and they do like, I don't know, he should be alright to wrestle in America if he continued, but I just don't know what the AAA recording schedule, like the taping schedules, like. I think it's pretty similar to Impact, where they do about 4 or 5 weeks ahead. But yeah, I'd love to see him continue though. I think their next set of tapings is from Vegas. Is that right? So
yeah. So it's still in the South as well, not too far to travel.
He could. I'd hope that he died.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. They have New York first. They have the New York tapings with Bound for Glory, and then they have Vegas.
Yeah, but still, like, because it's, a high-profile thing, Murder Clown could still be involved, but never know.
Yeah. Moving on, we had LAX defeat Desi Hit Squad. Again, this one was a bit short. I felt like this could have gone a little longer, but this was the first time I've actually actively enjoyed Desi Hit Squad. I think their gimmick with Garma and him beating on them and stuff, I think it's great. And we've talked about that a few times, how it's unique and we like it. But I just, in the ring, it's just like, But this time around, I don't know if it's probably just a testament to LAX that they made them more exciting to me. But yeah, ultimately LAX get the win. It was pretty quick match.
Yeah, it was a good tag match. Nothing wrong with it. I like it. I don't really know much about the Desi Hit Squad, but they're entertaining. So
yeah. And then Eddie, again, it was another one of these. Impacted this a lot. They're really good on the storytelling, and then the big matches happen at the big shows. So, it was a TV match. It was what it was, and then it's really just to set up the angle. Eddie Kingston and the OGs cutting a promo backstage. They call LAX young boy bitches. They say, let's talk about that quickly, right? Impact are not afraid to not be PG, right? We talk about it with Scarlett Bordeaux and her raunchiness. We talk about it with, their willingness to bleed, their willingness to swear. It's a throwback, but it's modern and global.
Yeah, it's, they're part of that. Yeah, exactly.
These are the reasons you should be watching Impact, right? You and the listeners, if they're not watching, you should definitely be watching Impact, because it's if you're a fan of like the attitude, not attitude era necessarily, but like the more hardcore 90s 2000s vibe, that was a bit more adult friendly. If you're a fan of that, but you also like modern wrestling, like Impact is the show for you at the moment. Like it definitely is.
That's good.
Impact and maybe MLW, but we'll get to that. I think I want to bring up MLW later, so I'll let you talk about MLW then, because I know you're the MLW guy. We get Eddie. Yeah, so he calls them young boy bitches. Says that the last time Conan was respected was when he wore the mask, and he has Conan's old mask. I don't know how he got it, but he has it.
Well, they're They were with Triple A, so Triple A probably had the rights to his mask. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not talking about the shoot reason. I'm talking about in kayfabe. How did he get Conan's old mask? Did he break into his house? Like,
yeah, that's true.
This is highly illegal. Anyway, so he says that after Conan lost the mask, he was leeching off Eddie. He leeched off Art Bar. Now he's leeching off Rey Mysterio. And then he lit the mask on fire, and he got huge heat from the crowd.
Yeah, which is crazy. If you can get heat off a Conan story, like if you get heat from the heat magnet himself, Conan, in 2018, you're doing a fucking good job.
Oh, King is fantastic. Eddie Kingston, I've been a fan of his since Chikara. I say it over and over again. But King, he plays King in Impact, and he is amazing. And like with WWE's push for managers, we were saying you need to sign King and put him with Street Profits or something to make them not pathetic. But because King's work is amazing, and yeah. Conan is ultra mega heel, but he's the babyface here. He's the babyface.
I don't think the guy's been a babyface since like Wolfpack in 1998.
Since Filthy Animals in WCW.
He's been a face in a long time. Even then, he was always heelish.
Yeah. In Filthy Animals, he was kind of like the Jay White that was kind of trying to pull them in the other direction.
For me, it's crazy on Eddie. How good Eddie is compared to Conan, because if you can get heat off Conan, then that's fantastic. So
the crowd were booing, calling him an asshole. It was amazing. Then we get a Tessa interview backstage. I mentioned this briefly earlier. Basically, she says, "Oh, it's very interesting that Taya, just happened to disappear right around the time that I came in. That's okay. That's okay. I'll challenge her and I'll show her the real bitch." Which again, they're not afraid to lean into that.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, like I said, I think Tyre is a perfect filler. Is that the right word? Filler rivalry for Tess at the moment, and just
Unfortunately, with the knockouts division as it is, it's kind of how it is at the moment. They need to they had Madison Rain in, and she was kind of like a filler program for Tessa. And now they did the thing with Fabi Apache, and now they're doing Taya, and it all feels like these temporary fillers, and you really need them to just raid the Rise or Shimmer locker rooms and build the division properly.
Yeah, Shazza.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Please sign Shazza. We need to start more hashtag campaigns.
Hashtag Shazza for Impact. Come on, hashtag.
We're already going to do a hashtag for our King of Sports Universe podcast this coming Wednesday. We still haven't decided on it, but we're leaning towards Aussie Open Tag League, right? Because we want to get Aussie Open in the World Tag League.
Yeah.
Now we need Shazza for Impact. I think that's our next one. We need Shazza for Impact. That's our next hashtag campaign. But anyway, moving on, Kira and Ali defeat Su Yung and the Undead Maid of Honor. Big win for Kira Hogan, getting a pin over Su Yung. Holy crap! Did not see that coming.
Yeah, fantastic. Big win for Hogan. Big win for her.
I'm gonna play it out here. So Tessa has been saying to Ali, I see through you. You really only care about the championship. All this stuff about your friends Kira and your friend Rosemary, it's all a lie. It's all bullcrap. The only reason you cared about Su Yung was because she was the champion, etc. Right? And Ali kind of put the lie to Tessa, because when Tessa was getting put into the coffin by Su Yung, Ali came out for the save. Right. So she's even protecting her enemies from Su Yung. So it looks like Ali is actually being honest. But I think long term here, we see Kira has just gotten the win over Su Yung. I think we see Kira versus Su Yung at Bound for Glory with Ali in the corner. Kira picks up the win. And then Kira is the next challenger for Tessa.
Okay.
And that's when you start to see Ali kind of maybe hog the microphone a little. And she's hyping up her friend, but it's starting to feel a little faker, right? Like she really wishes she was the one in this match. And then when Kira ultimately loses to Tessa, you can have Ali turn on Kira. I think that's where it's going. That's my fan booking. If I was to book it myself, that's where it's going.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
You're a good booker.
Oh, thank you. And then we get Rich Swann and Matt Sydal backstage, which the regular J insists these two are going to end up a permanent tag team. And I tell him he's absolutely crazy and it's never going to happen. And they're still not getting on the same page. Like, Matt Sydal's still trying to get Rich Swann to open his third eye, but Rich Swann wants nothing of it, and Rich Swann just challenges him for a match next week. So take that, regular J.
Yeah, but it could end up being a Cesaro Sheamus thing.
No.
I can see it.
No. I want Matt Sydal to team up with the Cult of Lee. I want Matt Sydal to team up with the Cult of Lee.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Like where the Arsenal fan regular J is coming from. I can see that with the storyline. It's that whole rival turned into a tag rival. I guess it's been done.
Yeah, and they're a bit of an odd couple as well.
As hell team.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I don't want to see Rich Swann open his third eye. You know, I don't want to see that. I want to see Rich Swann keep being Rich Swann, keep dancing, keep doing his thing, keep having fun. He's one of the few people that does the, generic fun babyface.
Yeah. Generic
fun babyface is a terrible gimmick, generally speaking. But Rich Swann does it really, really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And Matt Sydal with his third eye thing, it's perfect for him to be a cult leader, and the Cult of Lee. Trevor Lee has kind of slipped a lot in Impact. And he's not living up to his potential, and I'd love to see him come in to open their third eyes, so that they can live up to that potential.
Yeah. It kills me that Trevor Lee is not bigger in Impact and everywhere.
Yeah, he should be one of their top guys. If not the tag team, should be one of the top tag teams. But
Exactly.
It is what it is. Yeah, and then the main event, Moose and Killer Cross get a win over Johnny Impact and Eddie Edwards. Relatively clean. I mean, kind of. Things broke down a little. Everyone was down, and the title belt came into play, and Eddie's laying into Killer Cross. That's why I say it was clean, because you had the title belt on one side, and then you had Eddie with the cane on the other side laying into Cross. So like they both kind of had their shots. But then ultimately Moose hits the spear on Eddie while he's laying into Killer Cross, and he picks up the win. This one was, like I said earlier, it dragged a little in the middle. It was a good beginning, good ending, and just dragged a little in the middle. And I think some of that time could have gone to some of the other matches that felt a bit short.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, it's great. I'm really in love with Killer Cross.
Oh, yeah.
He was actually one of the entertaining points of Triple Mania. He's actually in a stable with Conan on AAA and that. And anyway,
yeah. Well, look, just quickly, Killer Cross, the way he's being booked in all of the promotions, he is going to be the next big thing, guaranteed. Because right now, working in Mexico, he's working with Conan, right? Learning from the best. Working in Lucha Underground, he's in a stable with Paul London.
Yeah.
Right? Working with the best. Then in Impact, he's working with Austin fucking Aries.
Yeah.
Like, how this guy is not going to be one of the best when he's learning, when he's sitting at the tree with these three guys at his three because those are the three big companies he's in.
Right. And you know who's keeping an eye on him, right?
Oh yeah, WWE have their eye on Killer Cross. Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm not just talking about WWE.
Oh, New Japan have their eyes on him too. Yeah, both.
New Japan having. He'd be perfect.
We talked about this last week when the rumors were around that WWE and New Japan were both looking at Killer Cross, and Jay was like, at least if he stays in Impact, he can, at least if he works with New Japan, he can potentially stay in Impact as well.
All right.
Because there's been a few,
the man that's calling his matches in Impact.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori, he wrestles for both. He's kind of the only guy at the moment, but yeah. Big things for Killer Cross in the future, surely.
Big things. Hey, and it's open season. It's recruitment season in Firing Squad.
Oh, man. Have him sit under another fucking tree of learning, right?
Or even New Era.
Yes, New Era, but want people... Oh, yeah, that'd be even better. Have him there with Ghetto and fucking...
Either learn from Ghetto or learn from Fale. Take your pick. But seriously, open season in... New Japan, so yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? Imagine Ghetto and Jay White unveiling Killer Cross as his partner for Tag League. Because all roads at the moment, in my mind, I know we've got Kings of Pro Wrestling first, but all roads are leading to Tag League because they're doing a lot of... They're doing really effective work building the tag stuff at the moment over there. So I'm getting most excited for Tag League. And
I'm so excited.
I would love to see Killer Cross unveiled as Jay White's new era partner. That would be amazing.
I agree. I'd be so keen.
You're going to get a lot of people upset about the amount of gaijin, but
yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah.
Take Kenny's advice. Pick up your game, Japanese workers, you know?
Yeah.
Although that said, there's a lot of really great Japanese workers outside of New Japan, but we're getting way, way away from things.
We are. Now,
is Kento Miyahara a free agent yet? I don't even know. Moving along. That is a dream. That is a dream. But imagine Kento Miyahara coming in to bolster, not Chaos anyway, to bolster like Okada's ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okada goes out, gets a new guy, and it's Kento Miyahara. I don't know. It's anyway. Back to Impact. Main event went a little long for my tastes, but it was a good match, and it furthered the Eddie and Moose stuff. Moose, of course, and Eddie used to be best friends, and now they're not.
Yeah.
And Moose's new character, I love Moose's new character. He's so much more entertaining as a heel than he ever was as a face. I'm really enjoying this stuff.
Yeah. No, it was very good. It's been very good.
So next week on Impact, we have Joe Hendry versus Murder Clown. I can't believe Joe Hendry versus Murder Clown. We have Rich Swann versus Matt Sydal, Eli Drake's Open Challenge, Su Young versus Kira Hogan, and we didn't talk about this, but we'll talk about it now. The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux. She starts her global talent search. This is where I want to leave the episode. She's looking. She's going to scour the globe to find someone who can sit at her learning tree. And basically she's looking for a client. She wants to be a manager and she's looking for a client in wrestling speak. But of course it's so much better when she pitches it because she's Scarlett fucking Bordeaux. And who do you have for this?
They could go.
This will be good. Whoever it is coming in a made man because Scarlett in a short amount of time has just gotten so much buzz.
Yeah. I'd do anything to be under her learning tree.
Let's not. I have two picks. Ready? These are my two picks. So, being the Aussie Graps man that I am,
yep,
I have to put it out there. There's a certain Aussie worker who is currently banned from Australian wrestling. He is in Orlando. He is looking for work. That man, of course, is Elliot Sexton.
That'd be so interesting. That would be very interesting.
I just feel like his character, from like all the stuff he does on Trophy Life, where he's just this, I'm the best wrestler, you know, and he's kind of clueless to his actions and how things. The character work is fantastic, and Scarlett's character work is fantastic, and I just think the two, and Sexton looks like absolute money,
right?
You know, and I think that having those, like, they're definitely 210s, right? You have these 210s. Just, I think it would be a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it'd be very, it'd be huge for Sexton's career. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if Elliot Sexton's really on the radar, but that's my fantasy, but my dream booking is the Aussie Graps guy. The other one that's probably a bit more in the wheelhouse, and he's probably a bit more on the radar, especially given that Don Callis did All In. MJF. Could we see MJF come in? Similar. His character work is brilliant. And could we see him come in as Scarlett Bordeaux's clueless boyfriend that she's going to mold because she's so manipulative and so fantastic?
Very.
Could it be MJF?
We're talking about Killer Cross before. This is another guy that should be on the lips of every promotion in the world. Like he's the young version of the Miz.
Yeah. Good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah,
better in the ring at his point in his career than Miz was at the same point too. So
very, very Miz. Very I know
not better in the ring than the Miz now, but the Miz. Yeah, at that point. Yeah.
Someone like a.
Did you listen to him on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast?
No, not yet.
Anyone who hasn't heard Maxwell Jacob Friedman on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast. Holy crap, right at the end, it was the family-friendly one too. It wasn't the Unleashed one. And it was the rare instance where Stone Cold actually cussed on the family-friendly show, because towards the end, MJF started sort of disrespecting him, right? I can't remember exactly what was said, but essentially he was being MJF. He was in character and talking about how I'm better than you, right? Because that's his thing, I'm better than you. And he was saying this to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Stone Cold's just like, what? Go on, son, you're going to get your ass whooped. You keep talking like that, and they actually did a bit, like, obviously it was a work, but they actually did a bit in character where Stone Cold and MJF had this confrontation, and MJF, like, he was telling MJF, you need to leave now. You need to get out of, 316 Broken Skull, whatever he calls it. He's like, you need to get at 316 Gimmick Street. You got to go. You got to get out. And MJF's like, no, I don't do what you tell me. And he splashed water on Stone Cold. And then you heard the chair squeak. You heard the door. You heard Austin get up and move away from the microphone and yelling at him down the stairs, kind of thing. It was really fun. Yeah. So, like, that's what I'm talking about, the character work. And that's what I want for someone who's going to be partnered with Scarlett Bordeaux. Yeah, no, fair enough. MJF's work in Major League Wrestling. I'm a Major League Wrestling mark. Absolutely love the promotion. I think they're probably one of the best independent promotions on the world in the world right now. Yeah, absolutely. I just find them so entertaining, and he's one of the cornerstone pieces for the revival. Yeah, he's one of the standouts, and he actually already has a manager there. That's why he might not be on the table. Really, he might be a package act already. Yeah. I don't know. One idea that I've got, I always forget what his current name is, but one idea is how does Jake Hager? Jake Hager's his current thing. I mean, Jack Swagger. Right, yeah. Jake Strong in Impact, Jack Hager, yeah. Right. Someone like I wouldn't like that. I want it to be someone a little more untested, a little more unknown. I think that Jack Swagger's kind of had the shot and failed in a way. And he's gone out to the indies. But unlike Drew Galloway, who went out to the indies and like took it seriously and absolutely smashed it, and this isn't a knock. Like, I don't know. I feel bad saying it, but it feels like he's just kind of going through the motions. It doesn't feel like he's actually, in it. Yeah, if that makes sense. There's a couple of ideas. I'm actually pulling my couple of picks from Major League. I imagine either Major League or PWG is where they're going to bring someone in from. Right. Well, they were recently in the UK, so we could look at they might have found someone in the UK that they were high on. So I'm going to throw a random name out there who's someone I'm high on, not character work wise for what I want for Scarlett Bordeaux, but if she was to bring in a pure athlete that she's going to be the character for, imagine Chris Ridgway. Wow. Yeah. They would go straight to the top with his in-ring and her character. That you've got a challenger right there for Austin Aries. Like top level work. Chris Ridgway. Well, thinking that there's another British guy that's been hanging around America the last couple of weeks. Okay. He has been in Major League Wrestling in the last couple of weeks, and he might be on their radar too. How about someone like a Jimmy fucking Havoc? Ooh, I don't see how it'd work, but Jimmy Havoc is one of those guys who can make things work that you don't realize could work. But I don't know. That's a little bit. Maybe if she tames Jimmy Havoc and turns him into some preppy, and it's like a complete reinvention of Jimmy Havoc, I think it'd work. But I think that's the only way you could do it. And I don't know if Jimmy Havoc is sort of sick of doing the things he's doing and wants to reinvent himself, it would kind of actually be a perfect pairing now that you mention it. Well, Jimmy Havoc is sort of on the outer in terms of progress in that because obviously, his story with he's sort of being phased out of the whole progress. I know he obviously just had a killer main event with Ospreay, but both him and Ospreay are kind of on the outer in progress because progress is so WWE aligned. Obviously the guys like British Strong Style and Travis Banks are now going to be pushed to the top Well, Havoc has a big match at Wembley though this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, so
But
I don't know. It's possible. It's
and
possible.
my other idea is if they were to capitalize on getting a really hot, not looks wise, but talent wise, is Brody King.
Yeah, Brody King.
The Tommy Ends lookalike in PWG right now. He's amazing, and I think I know he's been doing some work in Major League Wrestling, but he'd be fantastic. So he's the type of guy. He's in that same category as like Killer Cross and that he has potential future star. And like you said, I'd rather her focus on having someone that's an up and comer and
Yeah, same.
yeah.
You're looking a lot at MLW. I would love to see Impact and MLW work more together because Impact are very much about working with other companies, and I say this all the time. I say it in relation to Aussie Graps. I say it in relation to World Graps. Companies working together is good for the talent. It's good for the fans. It's good for the product. It's good for the business, and it's been proven time and time again. Look at All In. Look at what happens when people work together and put the bullshit aside. So I would love to see Impact and MLW do more work together.
Oh.
And this could be yeah. If they get MJF or Brody King or someone like that, it would be fantastic for the scene, just because of what it means. With look, now they're doing more work with MLW too, because at the moment the talent's gone the other way. People from Impact have gone to MLW, and they let that happen. You know, Sammy Callahan's over there, and a few others. Obviously, Lucha Brothers do both. You know, but I think it would be fantastic to see them start taking guys from MLW as well.
There's a lot of similarities between both companies. Like, so Major League Wrestling went out of business for about 10 years, but the original Major League Wrestling was probably just as hot as Impact when Impact first went on the air. Like, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, like they were the two companies, both Impact stemming from NWA and Major League Wrestling. They both came in at a time when there was no alternates to WWE, because obviously ECW and WCW had folded and became part of the WWE umbrella, and there wasn't big alternates in America, and including Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor also stepped in around 2002, 2003. These three companies all sort of...
Jersey All Pro had a bit of a hot run as well.
Jersey All Pro. They all sort of... But they were all kind of quiet. Impact had the biggest viewing because they were on Fox Sports at that first time, and they had the whole Memphis, Nashville country scene going on with I can't think of the country artist. It's killing me. The one that Jeff Jarrett used to work with.
No idea.
He's got his own chain of restaurants in America. Anyway, I can't think of his name.
Kenny Rogers.
No, not Kenny Rogers. He's a younger guy, like not young, but
okay. No, I've no idea.
Anyway,
no idea.
And so they had a lot of presence. Major League Wrestling didn't have as major presence. They do now because they're getting really good TV deals and stuff. So yeah, like they're very similar in the fact that they sort of started really well, sort of died in that middle part. Kind of got lost in that sort of. Everyone was
now they can build each other back up. Yeah,
exactly right. And Triple A is kind of
they're both on the rise again.
Triple A is in the same sort of category, like because they lost so much talent in the early noughties. Early noughties, they lost so much talent to either WWE or whatever. And now Triple A is coming back. So and kind of got House of Hardcore being the ECW now kind of thing.
Yeah, House of Hardcore is kind of under the radar for me. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't get excited about anything they do. But but at the end of the day, it's great to see, like we talk about all the time, the wrestling world getting smaller, companies working together. It's great to see you working together with me on the Impact Zone, because the regular Jay just can't be regular. God damn it, Jay. You have one job. Well, he actually has another job, and that's why he can't be here. So thanks for joining us, Mikey, and talking Impact. Thanks for joining.
It's good to get into the Impact a little bit more. I feel like
you need to watch it. To watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure your
put it on the list.
Your Arsenal loving boy will be back next week too. Oh no, next week.
Yeah, next week's going to be a tough one. So next week, the Impact Zone is going to be delayed. Thank you for bringing that up for me. Next week, the Impact Zone is going to be delayed because Impact airs in Australia on a Friday. Now, Friday, Jay will be at work, and then as soon as he finishes work, he is making the long drive overnight down to Melbourne to make it for the Super Showdown on Saturday and the Wrestle Brunch. He's coming to the Wrestle Brunch. The Wrestle Brunch, of course, is the B+'s official pre-drinks party. And yeah, so he's going to be driving and while Impact is on, so he might watch it in the car. I don't know. I'm going to be on a plane Friday morning while Impact is on. I'm going to be on a plane heading over to Melbourne. I'm going to spend the day in the city, catch up with some friends and all that sort of stuff for Super Showdown. Super Showdown is next weekend, so we're going to have some extra shows to fill the gaps, but Impact Zone is probably going to be delayed. It'll either be on Tuesday or Wednesday, but we're not going to... Impact Zone will be delayed, essentially. But I think Jay will be back for Impact Zone next week. It's just not going to be on time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and if he's not able to make it because of work, would you mind filling in again?
Yeah, why not? And you know what? Hopefully we'll be the very small but not official, because I'm not going to advertise it to the world, even though this is, going on a podcast. We're going to have a technical little after party record session maybe after the showdown. So
yeah, we will be. We'll be doing a podcast after the showdown. We're almost at podcast 100. I could probably pump out a few bonus episodes to try to make the Super Showdown show episode 100.
Ooh.
But I feel like that would be. I feel like that would be forcing it, though. I feel like we'll just let the episode. We'll do something for episode 100. We'll work it out. Thanks for joining us, Mikey. Where can people find you?
At Big Boy with an extra Big Boy on Twitter and Big Boy with an extra Y on Facebook.
I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, you name it. We're there taking over the world. Please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes because we love wrestling. You love wrestling. It's a perfect match. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the comment button. Get interactive. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of our opinions. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're shit. All that fun stuff that happens on the internet. Gotta love the internet, right?
You're shit.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
So, no speak English.
Dummy.
Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy.
Hold three. The moss covered. Three handle family Granunzo.